Hi, I'm Alan from Newlands Nursery and this is our 5-minute Friday. The idea is something you can do in the garden in 5 minutes to make all the difference. And this one's a little bit different and something I'm really passionate about. It's actually cross-pollinating chilies. So the idea when we actually do this is to actually make a brand new plant. And of course, that's not going to happen in 5 minutes, but the actual cross-pollination is quite a quick thing. It's the stuff after that, growing the variety on after that takes longer. But still, the cross-pollination is something you can do across so many plants. I'm doing it on chilies because we do it here on the nursery, something we do a lot. But you can do it on so many plants. Just Google something you've got more than one variety of and give it a go, well worth a go. So let's get into it. We've got 2 varieties here. We've got Turkish snake and we've got farmer's jalapeno. They're both annum chilies. So if you're going to do your chilies, it's important they're within the same group of chilies. So you get a few different types of chilies, baccatums, sinensis, annums. They often cross better within the same group. So stick with that when you're first starting. So what we want to do is select a mother plant and then select where we're going to get the pollen from and go from there. So this one's going to be our mother plant and we're going to pay attention to this particular bloom here. So what we want to do is select an unopened bud. This one's just ready to burst, so it's perfect for it. And the reason we're looking for an unopened bud is we don't want it to already have been pollinated, because obviously that defeats the object. So all I'm going to do is just gently take the petals off of the plant to reveal the inside, just like that. Do it nice and slowly, doesn't have to be super neat. You get better the more you do it, the quicker you'll get, same with anything. And then just gently take this away. So we're looking just to leave the female part of the flower. Sometimes it can be a little bit fiddly, it's not too bad, just like that. Obviously, the more chilies you grow and the more you do this, the better you'll be and the more flowers you've got to practice on. So we're just looking to leave it just like that. And this very tip here, I'm not sure whether you can see it on the video, but this very tip here is where we're going to add the pollen. So let's turn our attention to collecting some pollen. So now all we need to do is pick a plant for the pollen. We're going to take it from this Turkish snake variety. Now I've got these magnifying glasses. I use those to check to see whether there's definitely pollen on the flower that we're going to pick from. So I've checked them all already and found this one's got loads and loads of pollen on it. So this is one I'm going to do. And all I literally do is nip it off with my fingers. I'll be relatively careful with it. We don't want pollen splashing everywhere. We want that on the plant. So this is the one we're going to use. So I've taken this flower off and this is where we're going to get our pollen for in order to pollinate the one we've just taken all the petals off. And you can just see around here the slight yellow tinge to it, and those yellow tinges are the pollen. So what you want to do is when the flower is nicely open, with a magnifying glass, I've got some special glasses, with a magnifying glass you can actually see the pollen sitting on there. And all we're going to do is then brush that onto the mother plant. So nice and simple to do. When we're doing this, we'll often do it with more than one flower just to make sure we're getting it pollinated, and then we go from there. So all we have to do now is gently brush the pollen on to the tip of the mother plant, just like that. You don't want to be too rough with it, but you are going to have to push it on there a bit. You can, with a magnifying glass, check that it's gone on there as well. I can just about see we've put some on there. And it's simple as that. Now all that's left to do is to label it up. So now all I want to do is actually cover over this pollinated bloom. It's nice and easy to do. I tend to label them up before I put the bag on. We use codes, which I'll just put that on there. So we use a code and then we write it in a book to refer back to. So it's nice and easy. You can get these bags, I got from eBay. Get these bags in loads and loads of different places. Sometimes you have to fold over the bag, and I will just pop it on the plant, just like that. So that will stop insects going into to actually put loads of different other pollen on there, and then you get a super weird fruit that comes, or not the fruit, but super weird seed from the plant. And then you can't figure out what's going on. So this, if this germinates, so the fruit that comes out of it will look exactly the same as it should do. It's the seed inside the fruit that, fingers crossed, will be the new variety. And that's what's known as an F1. So in order to actually produce a plant that we'd be happy to sell to people, say it's a stable variety, we'd actually look at it being a F6, F7, maybe even F8. And what that means is 8 generations. So we'd actually collect the seed from this, we'd grow it, then we'd collect the seed from that plant and then grow it, and then collect the seed from that plant and then grow it and grow it. 99% of the time, by the time you get to F5, F6, we start getting slight variations and it's not a stable variety. But every now and again you do get a stable variety, so it's well worth doing. And to be honest, it's quite fun to do and it's interesting to see what you're going to get, so give it a go.